Hey everybody, welcome to eTrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Swagman CURRENT 2-bike platform rack for electric bikes here on our 2020 Winnebago View. Now, if you're starting to get in these long road trips and you do have an e-bike with you, it is going to be starting to get harder to find what platform is great to actually start hauling them. Now, the Swagman CURRENT is specifically designed to start carrying around those big electric bikes. With a 60-pound capacity, we are going to be doing a good job of getting these big, heavy bikes up on here with no trouble at all. A couple caveats, though. As you can see today, we've gone ahead and removed our battery coupling. Let's make sure we are doing that. Don't want that causing damage to our bikes, our bike racks, or our RV as we are going down the road. So grab that off, put it inside the vehicle, and we are good to go and start hauling these guys. Taking a look at the platform itself, you can see it is going to be a pretty nice design here, very sturdy. And one thing I like about it, how big these cradles are. Now, these e-bikes usually have bigger tires, as you can see, so we are getting a nice inner groove there for those tires, and it can wide out for those fat bike tires as well if we are having any issues. One thing I like about these cradles too is that they are adjustable. So as you can see, if you had any kind of like longer bikes, you can sling them down that way or that way. You will notice there's a screw here that prevents it from backing off all the way, so it's something we don't have to worry about, which is nice. But I do like that little versatility that we start gaining. You will notice too that we do have a center mount on here, and that is giving us frame contact. So unfortunately today, not going to be great for those carbon frame bikes, as we will have frame contact that will end up deteriorating those frames. However, not going to have too many issues with most of our other bikes. As you can see, this will be adjustable across the entire length of this mast. So if you have a very tiny bike where our horizontal bars, maybe a step through is pretty low, going to be doing a good job of actually giving us a clamp on there. So again, just a little bit of versatility with this rack. Definitely goes a long way, especially if you have different bikes and different needs. You will notice too today we are sitting a little bit close to our ladder, so I've gone ahead and thrown my handlebars on the other side. That way we don't have any kind of interference with that, and we might have a little bit of issue actually getting this in its standing position, but once we get the bike off, we'll start taking a look at that. How these strips work are pretty easy as well. They are just simply a little ratchet system, and we can just pull right down through. One thing I like about it though, we are getting a nice little kind of rubber pad there on those strips, holding that in, preventing any kind of damage to our wheel rims. And that ratchet is nice and easy to see, of course. That electric green, as you can see throughout the entirety of the CURRENT, actually is quite nice, especially if we're at, maybe getting dusk and we're trying to get them on or off. Makes it really easy to start letting us know exactly where our bikes are and what we actually need to do to start manipulating our rack in a quick and easy way. To get the bike off is going to take no time at all. We just want to go ahead and pop those strips as we mentioned, kick them to the side, get in our last strap here. And I do like how long these straps are, of course, accommodating for those fat tire bikes, but also because they just kind of gently go to the other side and they're not going to be in our way when we go to mount these again. Now, to take these guys off actually bring us to our ratcheting arm system. You will notice on this guy, it also has some locking cores on either end. What's great about these, they will be key to like, so that way we don't have to worry about one key to actually get these off. And if that way, we know that our bikes are going to stay to our rack nice and secured until we want to take them off. To remove these, we just simply press in that lever, bring our arm all the way out. I like taking them off all the way. Just makes our dismount that much easier for ourselves. And one thing I like about the CURRENT too, as you can see, you do get a nice, pretty good step in here. Nothing really in your way. Makes it really easy to get underneath these big bikes, especially with 60 pounds, capacity. We are probably going to have some heavier bikes there. Always nice to see those. Being able to accommodate to get that center mass underneath them and make that dismount that much easier. And of course, you can imagine walking it up just as easy to kind of just walk it in. I recommend just having the mast sitting up. Otherwise, you're trying to fight it, get into the position. It's just way easier to get it standing before we actually put our bikes on there. Talking about standing too, all we have to do to reduce this guy down, if we want to make it a little bit prettier on the back of our RV, is simply pull this little lever here, that electric green again coming in place. And we just pull that guy and gently walk him down into position, and he's going to be sitting like that. Now, if we're really worried about this popping over, which we shouldn't be, we could go ahead and run another strap through. However, it does have a pretty good resistance, so I don't think it's going to be something that we are too worried about. Now, with any hitch mounted accessory, we are adding some length to our vehicle. Now, I think the CURRENT does a pretty good job of staying nice and close while still giving us a good distance between our wall and our bike. But let's go ahead and take a quick look here and see. I think our furthest point of contact is going to be our outside cradle. So I'm going to take it from the back of our bumper here, And I'm seeing that we're adding about 24.5 inches there of extra space to the back of our vehicle. So 2 feet, not going to be anything too crazy, especially for a lot of platforms that I've seen out there. And I do like how I was able to fit that bike close to here without adding too much length. Now, the issue we might run into here today, though, is our put away feature. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have a little bit of issue with it actually kind of making the right position here to get past our ladder. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to set these cradles really quick. And now, again, this can be maybe a kind of a pain every time we take this on and off. But you know, once we got the bikes off at where our destination is, it might be nice to go ahead and push these over. I'm hoping with these cradles being moved, we actually have enough room to pull this guy up. To get this guy into standing position, we just simply pull on this big green lever here and walk this guy into position. And look at that, that's beautiful. Getting those cradles set off to the side, that's going to go ahead and allow us to actually make room for our ladder. And that way we can actually get this guy tilted away, saving us a ton of space. You can see how close this sits to our vehicle. Don't think we're going to have any contact, though. I'm fitting a whole hand between there. Especially, there's no play on this guy, guys. If I'm in this position, you can see I'm moving it. No contact at all. Love to see that. Still getting access to the ladder. And even there, with this folded up, I can quickly get up in this ladder with no problem at all. So, do like to see that, getting us just a little bit of room there. And let's go ahead and see how much length we actually shaved down. And 15 and about an eighth there or so, maybe a quarter, 15 and a quarter to the very end of that post, definitely saving us a ton of space. So I'm actually a really big fan of this platform now. It's one of the only ones I've seen out there work. So if you're looking away at getting those e-bikes up on there while on the Winnebago, definitely going to be a great option for ourselves. Now, before I get too carried away, I want to go ahead and give us a clearance measurement too when we actually are in our normal position here. So it looks like our furthest point from our hitch is going to be right here at the end. I think our arms sit just below that, or above that, I should say. So this should be our only point of worry. And right under 28 inches, about 27 7/8 there. Clearance, I definitely think we're going to be well enough out of the way. Shouldn't be causing us any trouble. Just keep in mind, if you have any very steep terrain, maybe a really long driveway, keep in mind those front wheels are going to go up, everything in the back will go down, so it's definitely just something to be conscious of. But I think this does a good job of being pretty much up and out of the way. Moving our way down the receiver too, you can see we do have an 1.25 inch receiver naturally. However, we do have a 2-inch sleeve adapter. Now, I'm a really big fan of the Current because it is made to be in this configuration, which is nice. A lot of times you have to end up only getting the 2-inch hitch, which can be good about this too. This Current doesn't have to be just used on our motorhome. We can put this on some of our maybe smaller vehicles in the family or other vehicles with the 2-inch hitch. So great to see that it can be a little bit more versatile than others. And also, we do have an anti-rattle threaded hitch bolt on the back. Now, they're very standard across the industry. However, we do love to see them. As you can see, as I shake this, that's shaking the entirety of the hitch. That means we're all in line with one system. So we're taking out a lot of that innate play that our bike rack's going to feel, which makes for a nice smooth ride for ourselves, our bike rack, and especially our bikes. And on the end too, you can see we do have a hitch lock here. And again, that will be key-to-like to those locking cores that we found on our ratcheting arm systems. So that way, yes, our bikes stay to our rack, but our rack stays to our vehicle, and everything's going to be nice and secure. Well, I became a huge fan of the Swagman Current, seeing as how I can get these cradles moved and actually start adjusting for my ladder length. Keep in mind that will mean you will have to adjust these guys a little bit more than you might want to, but I think for what you're getting, it's really going to be worth just a little bit of time that it's going to take to move those cradles. As well as with the versatility of this guy and that big weight capacity, I don't think you can really want too much else from the Swagman Current. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Swagman Current 2-bike platform rack for electric bikes here on our 2020 Winnebago View. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway.